What up, y'all? It's Bunny Love. I am so happy to be back in front of you guys with another review. I'm hoping that you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I'm hoping that you have a glorious Black Friday. You know what? I was going to get involved with Black Friday today. I was really sifting for some deals because I got my mind set on I want me another 70-inch TV. So I was going to go out there and fuck around with those crowds, even though I can't stand them. But I did some research, and actually I came to the realization that Cyber Monday would actually be a better day to get a really nice TV, good size, 70-inch, good size, at a even better price than Black Friday. So that's what I'm going to wait on, you guys. So if you're out there in those crowds or whatever, if you plan on going out there later on, just be careful, don't get trampled. And hopefully you're able to buy and purchase all that your heart's fucking desire. What up, folks? It's been a minute. It's been about 3 weeks, maybe longer than that, probably about a month, since I did an actual review. I did do some celebrity gossip talk videos about maybe a week and a half to 2 weeks ago. Let me get into that real quick before I get into this review, okay? I did a video on, I've done several videos on Omarion, April Jones, and Lil Fizz. Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, B2K, okay? I've done several videos on them because that story was just outrageous. I can't believe she's doing this, but that's her life. But she put it out on social media, so we all are entitled to an opinion, right? So, okay, anyway. I've done several videos, but the last one that I just did on those 3 actually took off a little bit more than I expected. And because of that, the subscriber count has really been getting higher. And I say all that to say, welcome to my new subscribers. Thank you for joining me. I hope that this channel is entertaining for you. And I hope you hang in there with me and, continue to be a part of what I have going on here. For the most part, I do, there's a mixture. I do celebrity talk, gossip talk, and reality show reviews. And also sometimes I'll come to you with some current news, whatever's like really buzzing and popping in the media as far as, something crazy. I'm gonna do another video on what is the girl's name? Geiger, the one that the police officer that shot the white girl that shot the police officer. I got another video to do on that. So I do videos about current news and stuff like that from time to time. But just overall, I just wanted to say thank you so much for joining me. Subscriber count has gone up quite a bit since that video. And if you have any requests as far as reality show reviews, celebrity gossip talk, DM me on Instagram, or you can hit my Facebook inbox and we'll talk about it. Anything that you request that I can fulfill, I might not fulfill it right away, but at some point I'll fulfill it. So let me get into this review about Holly Hager. Okay, so at the time, my 600-pound life, she was 38 years old, 600 plus pounds, living in LJ, Georgia. We start the scene off with her getting out of bed and her fiance, Ray, she goes into the bathroom. She uses the bathroom. Her fiance, Ray, is, I'm assuming she took a shit because after she got up, she bent over, slightly, and he wiped her ass, and I thought that was just disgusting. They've shown people wiping their asses on this show and other episodes. I think they were wiping their own ass. I think this is the first time I had ever seen somebody actually wiping a booty of their mate, with the exception of Nicole and her boyfriend at the time, Charlie, but he wasn't really wiping her ass. He was just running water through it, which I thought was disgusting. But whatever, it's whatever. But this is the first time I had ever seen on any episode of my 600-pound life that somebody mate had them bent over and it looked like the shit was being wiped out of their ass. I don't know if it was shit We don't know 100% if he was wiping out shit, but that's what it seemed like. Okay, it seemed like he was, that's just nasty. And let me just say, I don't want to make it seem like I'm jumping ahead, because when I do these reviews, I usually go scene by scene by scene. Okay. But just this first scene reminds me of something from later on in the episode, and I'll get more into that, what I'm about to talk about more later on in this video. But I just got to say real quick, she complained about how Ray was not romantic with her. Okay, he don't show her no affection. I'm assuming she was talking along the lines of fucking. Obviously, you're not fucking. You're 600 pounds. You know what I'm saying? You're 600 pounds. I mean, maybe they could. Maybe they could. Maybe they found some type of way to work the shit out. But from the way it seems like it seems like they probably can't get nothing in as far as fucking. Okay. And then how do you expect your mate to be romantic with you when he's wiping your ass? That's nasty. That's nasty. It's like he's probably more in the mindset of a caregiver opposed to your lover. You're probably not lovers because of how big she was. But I don't know what's going on with Holly today. I'm about to find out. I'm about to look. I'm about to see. I'm curious because I normally, this is the first review that I've ever done of anybody on my 600 pound life that I didn't actually follow up with them to see how they were doing now. I just jumped on this, I guess, because it was a request, and I said I would go ahead and get this out the way. Let's see, did she lose the weight? Anybody know? He's, but getting back to what I was saying, he's not gonna be affectionate with you if he's your caregiver. It's very rare that you're going to come across situations like that. Okay. All right. So I found it. Okay. So according to heavy.com, this is a blog, on October 16, 2019, Holly Hager, star of TLC's hit reality series, My 600 Pound Life. By the end of Holly's first My 600 Pound Life episode, she had lost an impressive 240 pounds and was down from 658 to 418. Oh, I'm sorry, I wasted y'all time with that. Because we know that. That's what happened in the show. But what happened today? Like, is there no update on is she still fat? I mean, I'm not trying to be insensitive. I'm not. But it's just like, what the hell's going on with her now? Like, it don't look like she making much progress. All right, well, anyway, all right, let me go ahead and finish saying what I was saying. All right, so, she was saying he's not being affectionate to her, this, and that. She was telling Lola this, and she had a session with Lola, and then she talks to him about it, and she's telling him, I don't get no affection from you. Holly controlled him a lot. That's what I got from the show. She liked telling him what to do. She liked running her mother. She liked running him. I don't think I ever saw anybody on My 600 Pounds, maybe one other person, that had as big of an appetite as this chick right here, Holly. I mean, this shit was crazy. How do you eat all that? Well, when you got a stomach that big, you're gonna eat like that. So, all right. Anyway, moving on. She says that she only takes a shower just a few days out the week. She don't take one every day because it's too hard for her to do it by herself. And she only gets Ray to help her whenever she really, truly, desperately needs the help. Other than that, she won't ask him to. Yeah, because she know what's up. She knows that if she continues to ask this man to do more than what he's already doing. I mean, he's already in a caregiver role, but if she really pushes it and asks him to do even more caregiver tasks, then ain't gonna be no romance between the two of them at all. So she's trying to keep him from having to shower her unless she has no other choice. She's trying to, keep as much romance between the two of them as possible. But how the fuck do you expect that man to be romantic with you and he wiping dookie out of your butt? Nasty. Just nasty. Just, all right. So, Ray prepares her food. Next scene, Ray prepares her food, goes to her wheelchair and waits for food. Okay? Ray admits to being an enabler and says he loves her, but he just can't say no to her. I think that's bullshit. I think that, I'm not going to say he don't love her. I can't say that. That right there, I can't say. I can't say he don't love her. Nobody knows how he truly feels about her. But at the same time, I think he was just kind of desperate. I mean, he seemed like he was a little off. Kind of remind me of Charlie, cast member Nicole's boyfriend. It was almost kind of like he had a little bit of he just seemed strange and weird and kind of desperate. Like he would take anybody that wanted him, even if it wasn't the woman of his dream. All right. He enabled her because he didn't want to be alone. That's what I think. I think he just wanted somebody, even if there was no romance. And she admitted to that. There was no romance, you know. So I think he just wanted whoever wanted him. That's a lot like Charlie, Nicole's boyfriend at the time. I don't know. Did they ever get married? Who cares? I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about Holly. Okay. All right. So after he prepares her food, they go out for more food after that, because she is still hungry and can't wait for more. This is what she said. Okay. So next scene, they go to a drive-through. Chicken basket. Ray is driving. This is what they order: chicken basket with gravy, 2 soft pretzel sticks with queso. And Holly says, "Oh, can you also get an order of onion rings?" She wasn't gonna be satisfied till she got them onion rings too, honey, because everything he ordered was not enough. She said she had to throw them onion rings up in that motherfucker. All right. Moving on. So he goes back home. He drops her off. He tells her he's off to work. Okay. So after that, that's when they start talking about the childhood. You know how they do in My 600-Pound Life. They want to get into what happened with their childhood to kind of lead you into, like, lead up to what happened and how they ended up like this. It all started from when I was a kid, and it just leads, that's what leads up to how I am today. So let's get into, and also to try to make you feel sorry for them. I don't feel sorry for these motherfuckers, man. It's only just a very few on this show that I felt sorry for. Everybody got something going on in their life. Everybody. Whether it's food addiction, drug addiction, sex addiction, something financial, family shit you're going through with your kid. Everybody's going through something, okay? So it's very hard for me to feel sorry for people that have the control and the power to change their situation. If you can fix it, then, and it wasn't self-inflicted, then I totally understand. You know, I get it. But if you brought it on yourself and you have the power to change it, but you don't want to change it, fuck you. Fuck you. Look, fuck you until you get it right, though. Fuck you until you get it right. I ain't giving up no sympathy. And like I've said on previous reviews that I've done, nobody needs my sympathy. Nobody lives off of it. Nobody has to have it. But that's what these people are looking for. They're looking for sympathy. I'm not going to give it to you. And a whole lot of people are not going to give it to you if you're full of shit. And that's what a lot of these cast members are on the show. We come across a few that do what they're supposed to do and don't waste 2 hours of our time watching train wrecks. But most of them are full of shit. And Holly kind of was. She ended up getting it right toward the end of the episode. But majority of this episode, she was bullshitting with the doctor and she was playing a manipulative mind game. How do you go begging the doctor for help because you know you at your wit's fucking end, and then you want to turn around and play these goddamn games? No. You be serious when you go down there because your life is at stake. You about to die at damn near 700 pounds. That's how I feel about that. Okay? That's how I feel about that shit. No, my sympathy is not needed. But when you got people that's what they want, not just mine, but the public. They want sympathy from the public, okay? And I can't give you that. Yeah, addiction is powerful, but it's still a choice. You have more power than what you think. The brain is a powerful muscle, and you can use that shit and work it whatever way that you want to. So with that being the case, the same way you got yourself to ridiculousness in terms of morbidly obese, you can turn that shit right back around and get back to at a healthy weight. It's all about how you exercise your mind. You still got a mind. You still if you're still in the right frame of mind, you still have activity of your limbs and you have breath in your body. You know you can be totally unstoppable. That's just the truth. So I don't have too much sympathy for these folks, and I can see why a lot of the public doesn't either. You got some that do. They fall for their bullshit. I don't. Okay, so moving on. Childhood. We're gonna talk about that. She says she always struggled with her weight. Mother says as a child, she couldn't believe how much she wanted to eat. It started from somewhere. Somebody was giving her too much food. If it wasn't the mother, the father was. They were either giving her too much food or they were allowing her to eat so much. When you're dealing with children, they're only going to do what you allow them to do. As an adult, you have the power to stop certain things with your children. Only give them what they should and should not eat. Only give them enough to sustain, opposed to having them overeat. So I think the mother was part of the problem. Okay. All right. So she says bullying started at age 6 because of her weight. Was always was around about 100 pounds by the time she was 6 years old, which is ridiculous. 100 pounds and you're 6 years old? What were they feeding her? Baby calves? What were they feeding this girl? 100 pounds and you're 6. All right, let me move on. That type of shit make me mad. And I'm not talking about her. I'm talking about the parents. How the fuck do you let your 6-year-old get to be 100 pounds? Fuck is wrong with you? All right, moving on. Okay. Told her parents that she was being bullied. They just told her to turn the other cheek, which is why she felt the need to continue to turn the food, because that was bad advice. If they did tell her that, I would agree. And you know what? I don't think she's lying about that. I think she's telling the truth. I think the parents did tell her that. They probably just brushed her off, kind of like, whatever. You know, just turn the other cheek. Don't worry about it. Bye. Bullying is real. That's why the girl ended up eating like this at a young age. Now, as a child, when she was a child, I felt sorry for her. I felt bad for her as a child. Because when you're a child, sometimes you don't know no better sometimes as a child. And I think in this case, she didn't know no better. I believe when she said she had nobody really to turn to. She was telling her mother really just didn't care. Seemed like she didn't care. Just turn the other cheek. You can't do that. Somebody bullying your child at school, you got to deal with that shit. You have to deal with that shit. You cannot let that go. So for her mother to say that, and she probably did because she was just kind of letting her do her own thing with food. So she probably was like, all right, well, whatever, whatever with food and whatever with you being bullied. That's what it looked like. Okay. So she turned to food even more because it was more of a comfort for her because her parents obviously didn't care. So, she said parents fought a lot. That makes a lot of sense based off her story is believable as far as what went on with her as a child. It's quite believable. I mean, the parents act like they, just was doing them and they didn't really care what was going on with her. Okay, so by age 12, she was 200 pounds. Ridiculous. Don't make sense. By then, mom realized her weight was out of control. Well, duh. Really? So by age 12, that's when you realized that the child's weight was out of control. Why didn't you realize that when she was 6 years old and 100 pounds? Why the fuck didn't you do something about it then? What is wrong with these people? I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect at all. I got a slew of faults. Everybody's got something with them. However, I try my damnedest not to drop the ball when it comes to my children. Okay, children are going to do stuff that's beyond, sometimes that's beyond and out of our control. Sometimes we can only do what we can do when it comes to our children as they get older, once they get to that teenager stage. But when they are young like that, how do you do that? How do you allow your 6-year-old to be 100 pounds? How do you allow your 12-year-old to have gotten up to 200 pounds? How do you do that? When it comes to your kids, you have to pay a little bit more attention. You can't do that. So talking about her childhood pissed me off. Because a lot of this, in a lot of cases, I don't believe these cast members, but I believed her. Her story made a lot of sense. If her parents allowed her to get that big, they probably didn't pay attention to her when she talked about how she was being picked on in school. They just turn the other cheek. Well, you're not paying attention to her as far as nutrition, her nutritional value. You're not paying attention to that, so you must not be paying attention to what's going on with her at school. But when she starts to get older, and she done got up to 200 pounds. Okay, so now you want to pay attention. Okay. All right, so she said her mother tried to get her on a drug called fen, and she was on that drug for a while, which was highly controversial and stopped her, but she still took it, and it stopped her from feeling hungry. But she still wanted to eat. That's a psychological thing. That's psychological. You don't eat all the time. You don't eat all the time because it makes you feel full. You eat because of how it tastes. You want that good tasting piece of cake or a slice of pizza or fried chicken or ice cream. You want that sensational taste in your mouth. It ain't always about food, getting full. It's about that the taste of that shit makes you happy. That's what it was for her. So giving her fen didn't matter. Really didn't matter because, all right, it might have stopped her from feeling hungry, but in the back of her mind, psychologically, she still wanted to taste certain foods. She wanted that good feeling that you feel when you taste what you like. You know what I mean? So, all right, anyway. She was 400 pounds by age 16, and that's even more ridiculous. Struggled with depression, got a job at a department store. A customer that was 22 years old approached her, showed her some interest. He asked her if she wanted to meet up with him in his truck to talk and get to know each other. It was then that he raped her, attacked her, and overpowered her. Was afraid of telling her parents. I believe most of her childhood. I don't know if I 100% believe that. It might be true. I'm not saying it isn't. I'm just saying I don't know if I 100% believe that because it is questionable. It is questionable. Very questionable about some of these cast members and whether or not they were raped and molested. It's questionable. It's hard for me to believe it sometimes. Sometimes I believe it, sometimes I don't. In her case, I don't know. It might have happened. It may have. It's possible, but that one right there was hard for me to tell. All right, so anyway, by the time she graduated high school, she was 500 pounds. She dropped out of college, moved back in with her parents. At 20 years old, she met her husband. Husband suffered from PTSD. He was in the military. She said that he would have episodes where he would just pull out a gun and put a gun to her head, and because he thought she was the enemy, almost kind of like he was at war. Like when you got PTSD, you have those types of thoughts. So she said she put up with it for 5 years, and then eventually she got away from him. By 30 years old, she was 600 pounds. At 30 years old, let me tell you what's. When I was 30s, I'm 39 now. I'll be 40 in February. When I was 30 years old, I was about 140 pounds. But I was always in the gym. I was crazy. I worked out like a motherfucker. Like I was a gym fanatic. I couldn't imagine. I'm just using myself as an example. Amongst some other people that I know, I just could not imagine being 600 pounds at 30 years old. Like, for real? That's crazy. But all right. So her husband split up. She got weight loss surgery. This is when she got her first weight loss surgery. Okay. I gotta wrap this up. I gotta hurry up. I got like 7 pages of this shit. I got 7 pages of this shit and I'm not even halfway through. All right, so let me hurry up. Okay, so, surgery. All right, so let's talk about that. She had her first surgery. Husband, she was still devastated over that. So she wanted to get her confidence back after her husband and her split up. She was 398 pounds by the time she was 32 years old. So the first surgery did work some. She went back to eating because she got depressed. She busted the staples out from her first surgery and went back up to 500 pounds by the age of 33. Lord have mercy. Okay, all right. So she met Ray, her current boyfriend. Well, was current at that time. On an online chat room. A lot of these women on here be meeting their mates on the internet or the chat line or online chat room. Yeah, because they know it's gonna be just a little too difficult, big as they are, to find somebody out there in the public. They got to hide behind a profile to get a man. I'm not saying that's everybody, but I'm just saying it's too cold. It's too many stories on this show. Too many cast members that's meeting their men on these online chat rooms. Is that? Do y'all put? I'm just curious. You think they put up fake pictures? You know, a woman with a smaller body or something like that to kind of deceive these guys so they can get their attention, talk to them, you know, soup them up, gas their head up a little bit, and then when they fuck around and meet or whatever, oh, I just, you know, I liked you so much and I didn't want you to look down on me, so I didn't really let you know that I was really 6,000 pounds. Don't pay me no mind, I'm a fool. I'm gonna say crazy shit in my video. Don't take it the wrong way, but I'm just crazy. Okay. 3 months after meeting him, Ray asked her to move in with him. Okay. That man was lonely. He needed somebody in there with his ass. He needed somebody in there with his ass. I don't think he would have gave a fuck if it was the Jolly Green Giant. He needed somebody in there with his ass. That motherfucker was lonely. He was lonely. That's what they said in online chat room shit. Now, I'm not saying everybody. I done met some really good friends of mine online. So I'm not saying the whole online meeting people and all that shit. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that a lot of these cast members, that's where they meet their significant others at. On the internet. And I don't think they being upfront with how they look when they first meet him. I think they be lying. And this guy, he wasn't no walking stick person either. He was jive big as well. He was kind of heavy set too. So he probably just figured, you know, I'll meet me a heavy set girl and she probably won't mind that I'm heavy set, or she could have lied about how she looked, and when he found out the truth, he just rolled with it. Who knows? But anyway, they were only living together for a little while, and then they had to move in with her parents. Mom and Ray are her caregivers. She didn't want to tell parents about shacking up. They didn't approve, but they had no place else to go by that time. So her parents had no other choice but to accept it. Come on. They're just full of shit. Talking about what they don't go for, but they end up going for it. Okay. All right. So mom admits to being an enabler, has dinner with parents, mother cooks, and Ray comes in with more food, fast food, burgers, cheese, chili fries, the works. That's what I'm talking about earlier. She had all that food. And then then Ray come in with even more. She had dinner with her folks. He comes in with even more food. Burgers, cheese, chili fries, all that. That bitch didn't miss a beat, you heard me. She made sure she had a full dinner plus some more bullshit off on the side from the fucking fast food place. Next scene, packing up to hit the road for Houston. 12, 13-hour drive, gets on the road. Ray is driving, stops to a drive-thru, orders 2 chicken sandwiches. They didn't really order a lot of food, but come on now, you on your way to see Dr. Now. Why you getting a fried chicken sandwich, bitch? Why you doing that? Well, maybe she just wanted to get it out of her system one last time. Okay. Stops at a hotel, continues to give Ray orders, and she controlled him. She really was telling him what to do. You know, it was almost kind of like, just do what I say. I don't give a fuck. Just do what I tell you to do. Like that's how she was acting. Okay. Controlling ass. She's too tired. She says she needs to rest more. It took her 4 days to get down to Dr. Now instead of 1. And yeah, from Georgia to Houston, only take 12 hours. Shouldn't have taken you 4 days. You just a slow-winded bitch. You know, your stamina was terrible. She complains that the road trip was painful. Weighs in at 6:51 when she gets down there to the doctor. Dr. Now asks, what's the difference between your first weight loss surgery and now? She says she's going to do it this time. He said, well, okay, then you lose 50 pounds over the next 2 months. Dr. Now scolds her, tells her, you're almost 40 years old. Stop depending on your mother. Stop using Ray to take care of you. Start doing things yourself or you're going to die, basically. And he's correct. He's correct. Long as she keep playing this manipulative game with her mother and her damn man, they're going to keep bringing her unhealthy food. She's going to fuck around and die. Period. Point blank. Okay. Says because Ray and mother are overweight, they are enabling Holly as an excuse to eat fucked up with her. I absolutely agree. The mother is big. Ray was big. I was saying that as far as, that's pretty much what I was saying as far as the online dating. It could have been a situation of, well, you know, Ray probably was like, well, I'm big, so, and she's big, so we might as well just be big and do big people shit together. I mean, like, you know what I mean? Okay. Tells her to build up her stamina because it should not take 4 days to get from Georgia to Houston. Yeah, I just said that. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It only take 12 hours, not 4 days. We understand you heavy set and it's hard for you to drive or be in a car, because she wasn't driving, Ray was driving, but be in a car for that long at your size. But it just, 4 days, that, come on. I don't think there's anybody on this show that ever did that, ever. I think she's the only person. Okay. So, next scene, they're back in Georgia. She's eating healthy. Ray and her mother aren't doing the diet with her. They eat regular food in front of her, and she says the temptation is too much and it depresses her. Well, you got to understand, when you're on a diet to try to reverse your self-inflicted issue, you got to understand that if other people don't want to join in with you, they don't have to. It would have been nice, and it is kind of fucked up that they would eat bullshit in front of her, but at the same time, that's still, they can do what they want to do. Giving her support would have been great, but nobody has to support you. Like, you be your own cheerleader, your own support system. Do what you got to do for you. It's all about the power of choice. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. So month 3, back in Houston, supposed to be at 608 pounds, but she weighs in at 629. That's because she kept eating fucked up. She wasn't going by the diet. She didn't hit the 50-pound goal, says she's disappointed. Why are you disappointed? You know how you was eating. Come on with that bullshit, y'all. You knew what you was doing. You shouldn't be disappointed. You knew that you were eating bad. Stop with that. Dr. Now gets on her about being a few days late. Stamina is still off. Is going back to the doctor for the second time. She's still late. She's late again, trying to get down there. She just lazy, yo. All right. Gets on her about still taking in a lot of calories. Yeah, you're taking in a lot of calories because you did not lose the weight. You can easily lose that weight if you just totally change how you eat. Totally. But she wouldn't do it. He said at 15 pounds a month, which is basically what she lost. Instead of 50 overall, she lost 15 pounds a month. Weight loss, she's still taking in 5,000 to 7,000 calories a day. Yeah, that's a lot. You're still eating like a, I don't know. Okay. So says she plays like she's confused about her eating habits to manipulate people. Yeah, she was playing a game. She was acting like she didn't know what happened. I don't know how I gained all this weight or didn't lose enough weight. You know how, bitch. You just trying to make it seem like you don't know. Okay. So you can get away with not be responsible for eating like you ain't got no sense. Okay. All right. So gives her another chance to lose 50 pounds over the next 2 months. She admits that what Dr. Nell told her was hard to hear but needed. Well, I will give her credit for that. At least she admitted that it was rough for her to accept what he had to say, but she know he needed to say it. So most of the cast members won't admit that. Okay, most of them just get angry with Dr. Now because he's getting on them about shit that they don't want to hear. At least, even though she was playing mind games with everybody, at least she did admit, okay, all right, well, it was hard for me to hear that, but he's telling me the truth, you know, so I just got to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? That's very good. Okay, so next scene, back in Georgia, packing up to move to Houston, admits she's taking a risk by moving before being approved for surgery, has a tearful goodbye with her mom. I would agree with that. I don't think it's wise to move down there without being approved yet. You don't know what is going to happen. But she did it anyway, so okay. Moved in, admits that her and Ray are not affectionate with one another. Duh. We know. That man ain't thinking about you. If he gotta wipe your ass, he definitely ain't thinking about trying to eat your ass. Oh, did I say that? Oh. Don't pay me no mind. I'm telling you, I'm crazy. I am crazy, motherfucker. I'm crazy. All right. So they order takeout. She claims they are not set up to cook healthy food in their place yet, so she has to get takeout. Okay, she ordered all this Chinese food. Bitch, you know you ain't supposed to be eating that shit. All right, so month 5, she's 579 pounds. Well, she's supposed to be at 579. She weighs in at 6'11". So okay, if you're supposed to be 579, but you weigh in at 6'11, you ain't been doing what you're supposed to be doing. You still eating like you ain't got no sense. Okay, so that's only an 18-pound loss when you were told to lose 50 pounds. You didn't do that. Okay, so she has a total weight loss of 47 pounds since she started this, but it's supposed to be more than that. It's supposed to be 100. Okay, so says she doesn't understand her lack of progress. You're lying, bitch. You know why. You just stop it. That's what I hate that. Stop lying. If you know you've been eating bullshit, you've been eating bullshit. It is what it is, okay? So, she tells the doctor that this record plays over and over in her head about, I want chocolate, I want chocolate, I want chocolate, I want chocolate. Well, honey, chill. Okay. Put that chocolate down so you lose weight and live. Dr. Nell gets on her and tells her to stop playing games, stop acting like she's confused, not knowing why she gained weight. Tells her that the games she played don't work on him. And they don't. You can't play games with Dr. Nell. He don't go for that. He can see right through your bullshit, okay? Says she plays that game with her family and it works on them. Had weight loss surgery once and it failed for her because of her lack of effort. Tells her she needs to get psychotherapy for her emotional issues, and this way she'll be able to stick to the diet once she gets down to the bottom of what's really going on with why she keep resorting back to food. And he says this is her last chance. He's not giving her no more chances after this. Okay? So next scene, Ray takes Holly to see Lola for therapy. She talks about how she got bullied as a child and home life was rough as a kid. Okay? She talks about how she needs to ask, she don't get affection from Ray, and Lola basically tells her to stand up for herself and get the affection from Ray that, ask for it. If he don't give it to you, then, it is what it is. I like Lola. She give real good advice. You know what I'm saying? 2 weeks later, says she's tired and is frustrated with him just being a caregiver and not showing no affection. What do you expect if this man is wiping your booty? If he just wiping your booty, he's not going to want to eat it too. He's not going to want to eat your ass too if he wiping it. Because he actually sees what comes out on that tissue. I mean, everybody take a shit. But I'm just saying, he see what's down there. So I don't think he want to put his mouth there. Let me stop talking about that. Because I probably got some subscribers that ain't into that type of shit. So let me stop. Let me stop. Let me move on. All right. So she expresses to Ray that she's lonely and he doesn't pay her any attention. Let me tell you something. That is the worst type of relationship to be in. You heard me. If you in a relationship and you still lonely, you still feel like you by yourself, you got a big problem, babe. You got a fucking problem. You heard me. You got a problem. Okay, all right. So he apologizes for neglecting her, blames his financial situation, the fact that he's not working is frustrating for him. That could be true. I mean, maybe his mind was focused on. No, I think that's some of what's true. I don't think it's all of what's true. It's some of what's true. His mind was on that. She wants to get married. She said, well, when I lose the weight, can we get married? And he said, yeah, most likely we'll get married when you lose the weight, whatever. Motherfuckers is crazy, yo. Hey, motherfuckers crazy. He is not gonna want to lick her booty if he see the shit coming out on the Let me stop. I said I was gonna stop. Let me stop. All right, moving on. Month 7, she weighs in at 564, 2 months after the last visit. And she lost a total of 47 pounds. And Dr. Now approves her, says she was close enough. Wasn't quite 50 pounds, but he approves her, says she was close enough. Dr. Now say, if you want me to take you serious, he said, I'm going to schedule this surgery for a month from now. So, from now until next month, you gotta lose another 25 pounds. If you don't, then I'm going to cancel it. So he was just trying to really make sure that she, was doing what the fuck she was supposed to do as far as staying on track, which is a good thing. I think he's a good doctor. Some people don't like Dr. Now, but I think he's a real good doctor. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so by month 8 surgery, she goes in for surgery. She has a hernia. Dr. Now claims that is going to be hard for him to perform the surgery, but he was successful. He was able to go ahead and fix the hernia issue and do a full bypass on her. Had to be a full bypass because she had weight loss surgery before that failed. So the second go round would have been a full bypass opposed to the sleeve. So yeah, so he said it was challenging, but everything worked out for the best. By month 9, current weight was 502. Weight loss was 36 pounds since surgery, and she was 156 pounds down. She leaves town to get to Georgia to talk to her mom. Holly drives back. She's actually behind the wheel of a car now. That's a good thing about losing weight. When you're real big like that, you're not really going to be able to drive. Or if you do, you're not going to feel comfortable with driving. So she got to the point where she felt a little bit more comfortable with getting behind the wheel and driving and things of that nature. So that was a good thing. So she drove back to Georgia from Houston. She said hopefully it won't take her 4 days. Hopefully it only take her 2 days. I don't think they said how long it took for her to get back. But she, I'm sure it didn't take as long as the first couple of trips. 4 days, that's ridiculous. This shouldn't take 4 days to get to Houston from Georgia. And it shouldn't take that long, vice versa. Okay, so gets back to Georgia, talks to mother about sexual abuse as a teen. Mother gets emotional. Ask why didn't she tell her. Holly says she was afraid. Mother says she will listen to her more. Okay, so yeah, the mother and father did drop the ball, it seemed like, when she was younger. But now the mother's trying to get it together and be there for her daughter, which is a good thing. By month 10, she was 475 pounds. Since surgery, 63 pounds. She had lost in total 183 pounds down. They show her, the next scene they show where she's taking a dance class and she has built up her confidence. She was building it up. By month 12, 418 pounds. She had lost 120 pounds since surgery. And she was 240 pounds down. And then they end the episode with Ray she was taking Ray out on a date. So that concludes everything. I want to thank you guys for watching. I just want to tell you that I love you. And I'm so glad that you are a part of my channel. All my new subscribers, again, welcome. Thank you for coming through. Any requests as far as celebrity gossip talk, if you come across any stories that you think I may not know anything about celebrity gossip talk, send it to me. I'll research it. I'll do a video. So yeah, let me know what's good, folks. I love you. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. And check me out. I got a couple more reviews coming up today. Later. Don't forget to add the underscore when adding me on Instagram.